It's late into the night, and John, not his real name, is coming to the end of a 12-hour shift in Qatar's capital, Doha. He's a taxi driver who came here from his native Nepal a year ago. Driving along the outskirts of the city, the 35-year-old tells me he left his wife and kids back home and came with the hope of more pay and a better life for his family. But things didn't quite work out as he expected. I make more money here, he says, but it's really tough. It's hard. My work hours are long. John's living arrangements are just as difficult. He shares a room like this one with 7 other men in a cramped living space in the desert. There are few amenities here. But John's biggest concern is that he can't leave. He says his company is holding his passport. तो passport आपके पास नहीं है?
नहीं देता है.
One of the reasons he didn't want to reveal his identity. John is one of nearly 400,000 Nepalese migrants living in Qatar. The UN's labor watchdog says about 90% of the state's workforce is made up of migrants. Cases like this aren't unusual here. In fact, John is one of the lucky ones. 65 Nepalese migrants died this year in June, July, and August, many from heart failure, according to Nepal's embassy in Doha. That's more than 1 death every 2 days during the hottest months of the summer.
You're talking about a slave state. That's an extreme statement, I know, in the 21st century. But what else can you call an environment where workers are totally controlled by an employer? They're forced to live in squalor.
Qatar's labor conditions are now under greater scrutiny as it prepares to build for the 2022 World Cup. From stadiums to hotels, much of it built by migrants. Qatar's committee in charge of the World Cup says it's making workers' rights a priority.
As soon as they're brought up to the attention, or as soon as the government or the relevant authorities take a look at them, action is taken. So to describe it as a slave state, all I can say is it's simply outrageous.
Qatar's labor laws limit working hours, provide for overtime and holidays, and specifically state it's against the law for a company to hold passports of workers like John. We went to his company and spoke to a manager who didn't want to appear on camera, but admitted the company was holding the passports of its workers. He said it was for safekeeping. He knew it was against the law, but he just said many companies were doing it. Many human rights groups say the laws are often left unenforced, but Qatar's government says it's taking the allegations seriously. The country's labor minister told the local media this week that the government is committed to cracking down on any labor violations. Activists say that it's crucial if Qatar wants to prove it's worthy of hosting one of sport's foremost events. If John gets his passport back, he doesn't plan to wait around for the tournament. Wages may be higher in Qatar, he says, but life here is just not worth it.
जल्दी जाएगा.
And after just 1 year, John's ready to head home.